Hello everyone, welcome to a new video, and this is a tutorial kind of video in which I am featuring a dashboard application that I made entirely in Python in order to check the pings, in order to select the devices, etc. So in this video I'm just going to demonstrate that, and I'm very sure that my computer screen will be visible to you. So without any further delay, let's go to my GitHub profile page, and this is my GitHub profile. In which you can see all my repositories by clicking the repository here. Okay, so if you click on the repository, you will find something called ping dashboard, which is simply a fancy way of pinging multiple things at once, checking their status, and it will help in tasks like such as monitoring whether the devices are going off or on. And it is much helpful because right now in our organization, which is going through a migration, physical migration, so we have to update and checks the pings whether the servers are up or now after the physical migration. And before migrating, we have to tick mark whether the server is unmounted or not. So instead of checking pings with Google Sheet, copying pasting their IPs and in the console or command prompt, it will take much more time. So I made the entire UI and written an entire script to facilitate that task easier. So this is the ping dashboard main readme file that you can read the instructions. But for a very basic point of view, for those who are not tech savvy, because not everyone have their Git installed in their system. So how they can take advantage of this, I will also post some screenshot here. And if you read that we don't have any specific dependency, the only dependency it requires is to have the Python installed. And in order to install Python, I prefer the much better way by using the Microsoft Store. You can directly search Python in CMD and it will automatically take to the Microsoft Store, and you just have to click install. And that's all. It's a script will run as fine as possible. Okay. So first thing that the instructions is that you have to clone the repository. But in order to clone, you have to have Git installed. But that's not a requirement. You can click the green button here, code, and you can directly download the zip file here. Okay. And now you can see that we got a download prompt with a name already written, ping dashboard main. We just have to save this file. Okay. Now we will move to the download folder, which is present here. Okay, and this is our file, ping dashboard main. We just want to use this file, open with File Explorer because we want to view this file. And now you can find that there is a main file, main.py, main.python file. Because this file is not yet in modular structure because it's much in beta, and I have already planned a few features ahead. I will tell you in the last of this video what I will plan. You just have to run this main.py file. In order to run it, we first have to extract it. You can simply drag and drop it to over downloads or document folder. For example, I am dragging it over downloads folder because I want this file here. Now in the downloads folder, you can see that there's a main.py file present. In order to run it, we have to go to the Omni bar or the location bar of the CMD. We just have to write CMD here, which actually we have to go to the Omni bar or the location path bar of the Explorer. Then we have to write CMD here, and a CMD window will appear from the right at this location. Now we have to write the Python 3 because the current version of Python is Python 3. It may change in future. You have to act accordingly. So I just have to write Python 3, Python 3 with a space and write the name of the file, which is main.py. You can simply click the tab button. It will autocomplete after writing MA. Okay. As you can see. And there's an error in name because right now it says that main.py.py, but because I actually renamed it main.py, but the py addition keep attached as suffix. So it got twice, which I will fix in a future commit. So don't worry. We just have to run this. And now the ping monitor application is running in its full glory. But I can see nothing. There's 3 buttons: browse IP, browse hostname, browse racks, refresh intervals, etc, etc. So how to actually use this, how to see our ping responses, etc. So I'm going to see that. in the GitHub section, I have said that you have to make 3 text files, which is known as ip.txt, hostname.txt, racks.txt. The other 2s are optional. Only file that we require is the ips.txt. So let's go fast and create this. We are in download folder again. We have to just create a new text file. You can name as you want. Suppose I am naming this ip.txt without any further creativity. We just have to enter this file. We have to write the list of the IPs that we want to ping. Suppose we want to ping Google DNS 8.8.8.8. Okay. Then we want to ping a network, suppose Cloudflare DNS 1.1.1.1. I don't know why my keyboard is so shaky. 1.1.1. And I want to also ping a website of my own network so I can demonstrate how it behaves when a device goes down, because these IPs, for example, the 8.8 and 1.1 are always available in the network. So it will always shown as green. But what if an IP goes down, or if the other way around, what if the IPs come back, then how it will react? I'm also going to show that. So we will keep a device of my secondary phone as a replacement, and I will disconnect it from network, and we will see that what will happen. Okay, so the IP of my phone is right now, let me check in the settings. If I go to about phone and IP address, I can see that it's 10.132.180.44. so it's 10.132 one second, 10.132. What was it again? 10.132.180.44. 180.44. So this is the private IP of this phone, which I am connected via hotspot network, on which this computer, this smartphone, as well as the phone that I am recording on is also connected on the same network. Okay. So now we just have to save this file. Okay. And if we follow the instruction further, it says that it can also accept 2 more files, which is host name and what was that? Rack number. So if I also want to create that file, which is not a requirement, not a strict requirement, but we can use it. So what we will name? We will name this as host name.txt. So after working with Linux, it has been in my habit to actually write the extensions of the name itself. So that's why it throws an error that it has 2 extensions, .py, which I will fix in future video. So what this hostname actually does is we have to keep the length of the both file same way. For example, the first is Google DNS, so we just have to write that it is Google DNS. Okay, this second IP is 1.1.1.1. We can actually tag is at Cloudflare DNS. And the third is my private phone. So we can tag it as my Android phone. Okay, and we just have to save this. Okay. And if we want to make another tagging, which is the rack number, because we are not in data center environment, we can actually rename is at whether the IP is located on internet, on my home network, etc. etc. So let's also quickly make that file also. And yes, be remember that this is not a strict requirement, and this application will work without this file as well. So we just have to create rack.txt. We can name it whatever we want. Okay, so in the rack.txt, I'm just going to add because 8.8 is an internet IP. I just can write internet. For second IP is also on the internet, and third IP is on the local network. Okay, and we have to save this file as well. Save it. So I'm making sure that every 3 files is saved, and every 3 file has the same number of content. For example, we have 3 lines separated, 3 IPs separated by each line. Okay. Now we have to go to our application, which is the pingmonitor.exe. we have to click on browse IP, and now you can find that it is getting then ip.txt, and as soon as I open this ip.txt, those three IPs are on the list and it currently showing as green because the IPs are right now pingable. Okay. If I want further tagging, we can click on browse hostname and click on the hostname.txt, and now you can see that in the columnar section of hostname, you can see that 8.8 signifies with Google DNS, 1.1 signifies with Cloudflare, and this IP which is of my Android phone. So it will help in tagging when there are multiple IPs and multiple servers in a stack. And finally, let me small it so I can zoom it over. So you can see that currently we have sent the 8 packets and we have received all of them, and right now it's 9. We can change the refresh interval here. So if you want frequent pings, you can set it to 5. By default, it is in 5 seconds. Okay. And the third text file that we created is the rag file. If I also load that, which is rag.txt, now you can see that it is shown as the internet, and my Android phone is on local network. Okay. Now, suppose if I want to remove my Android phone from the network or a cluster, I'm doing physical migrations here. So I can double click the unmounted section and it will show as tick. And after ticking, this phone will not be further pinged or not be further updated as colors here. Okay. Now, I'm currently clicking this. Okay. So what will happen if I take my phone outside of the network? So I just have to turn off the Wi-Fi here. As you can see, this is the Wi-Fi symbol. If I'm turning off the Wi-Fi and wait for the 5 seconds in order to get an update, now you can see that my phone has turned yellow in this column, which signifies that my phone is not actually responding to the pings. It will check for 2 to 3 pings, and after that it will change the color into red, which shows that my phone is off the network, off the grid, and is no longer available. So if I am turned the Wi-Fi back on my smartphone, my phone is again responding to the IP, and now you can see that the column section or the phone row has turned into green again. And what will happen if I turn off the internet on my main smartphone? I have turned off the internet, and now you can see that both two Google DNS and Cloudflare DNS are shown as unreachable here. Okay. And because they are not responding to ping, and now they have turned red, and if I again turn on the internet, they must be pingable now, and yes, now you can see that the both have turned to green. So this is my small applications. It's also feature search. That will search all the 3 columns, IP address, hostname, and rag, in order to fetch the value. Suppose if I am on a very long list and I just want to view the IP of a single domain, which right now I cannot demonstrate because for example, the IPs that have only 1 in them, so I can write 1 dot and search for it. So it should only show the Cloudflare IP. Okay. And if I only search for 1 dot, only 1, then it will show the IP address with 1.1 and 10.32 because both contains 1. And this is this simple application that I find. Actually, if you search GitHub, you can find also the 2 or 3 more applications. But actually, I want the application to work this way. That's why I've created this. And that's all in this video. Thanks for watching.